Okay, so I came in and sat down, and I go over the guest list, and Erin said Mr. John from DeSoto is going to be on, and he has some rather surprising advice about pipes and not how to bust the pipes, etc. Where do you want to start with this? What do you think?
Well, I want to start with weathermen. And I'm not going to name any names, but there's been some weathermen on the TV here lately advising everybody, we've got extreme cold come in, so be sure and drip your pipes. Wrong.
Why?
We've got a rash of burglaries in your neighborhood. So what we need you to do is leave your door unlocked so they won't bust your door when they come to steal your stuff. At least your door will be in good shape.
So let me see if I got a fascinating analogy. Yeah. Let me see if I got this right. So the little spigot that's in my carport, and everybody else, they leave a little trickle on to keep the water from freezing. Then the water won't. That's 100% the wrong thing to do.
Absolutely, it's a game of numbers. It all boils down to numbers. And let me run them for you right quickly. I'm just going to take my system as an example. And any system you're on, you can scale these numbers up or you can scale these numbers down. Doesn't matter. I have 2,200 customers. I have the capability of making 800 gallons of water per minute. On an average, right now in the wintertime, normal usage, my customers are using about 400 gallons a minute. Agreeably, more in the daytime, less at night. But let's talk an average over 24 hours. They're using 400 gallons a minute. So I'm at half my capacity. Now, if I have customers that saying, okay, I want to drip my pipes so they won't freeze, you're going to have to drip at least a quarter of a gallon per minute to have enough flow for that water not to freeze in that faucet. So if all my customers did that, just real quickly, I'm losing 550 gallons a minute to a drip. If I'm already using 400 gallons a minute on my regular usage, I don't have but 400 gallons a minute to play with, and now you're dripping 550 gallons a minute. I'm going in the hole 150 gallons a minute, and I'm going to be out of water here in no time at all.
So is the reason folks shouldn't do this is just to keep the water system from running short? Or
you're worried about your own self, John. Come on now. What about my pipes?
Well, here's the deal on your pipes. You can buy that insulation down at the hardware store a lot cheaper than you can pay the extra water bill for dripping your pipes. All right, now let's go back to your analogy, Robert. You're going to drip that faucet in your carport, okay? That's one faucet. You've got a straight line coming in from your meter, and then they tease off to your yard faucets out there. Okay, what about that yard faucet out there in your front yard? Are you going to drip it, or are you going to leave it shut? If you're going to leave it shut, then that water is stagnant in there, and that water is going to freeze. All right, what about that faucet in your backyard? Are you going to drip it because there's no water flowing through it? So now you've got three faucets you've got to drip. So
and I got the one upstairs, too.
Well, you're inside the house, and we're not worried about those.
Okay.
Oh, she's running.
Okay.
Oh, I'm running them all, John.
She's dripping them all, John. You got no idea, buddy.
Yeah.
If you drip them all, you're my worst enemy. You're my greatest water customer, but you're my worst enemy. Okay. All right. So if one pipe busts because you didn't drip it, a 3/4-inch pipe which serves somebody's house at an average pressure of about 80 pounds of water pressure in a main line will flow 100 gallons a minute. So for my system, how many customers do I have to have with busted pipes to drain my system? 40. That's less than 5% of my customers.
Have you had any big problems? Have you had any pipes break? I know Shreveport's dealing with some. Bossier may as well. What about you guys in DeSoto?
And I'm sure you can look at the meters and you can see how many people are doing exactly what you say not to do.
Oh, absolutely. We have our system is very well. We've got meters all over to show our flow. Now I can't go to everybody's house. I can't go to 2,200 people's house and see if their meters are flowing. What we have done is drive around in neighborhoods that are really, really dense, and we look for water running or ice ponds in somebody's yard, and we'll turn that meter off. And we had 43 calls yesterday. People wanted to know why we turned their water off. We didn't turn your water off. Your water is frozen. You didn't insulate your pipes. I had much rather you insulate your pipes. You're not dripping. You're not wasting my water. Then that pipe's not busting, or you're not calling me.
Wait a minute, John.
Oh, brother.
Okay, John. I'm not wasting your water. I pay you for that water, and I want to drip it. I can drip it.
Okay, you drip. If you drip and several of your customers drip, then nobody has any water. I'm not looking out for me. I'm looking out for everybody. If you drip, it's not just you that runs out of water. It's you. It's your neighbor next to you. It's your neighbor across town. You will drain the system. You're not draining your house. You're draining your system.
So what is the most efficient way? You said insulate the pipes. I know I'm going out on a limb here. I don't think Erin knows how to do that. Would you walk her, and by association, anybody listening who might not know, what's the right way to protect your stuff against the cold?
Okay. Go to your hardware store. They have this little foam wraparound pipe insulation. It comes in 3/4 or 1 inch. It's very inexpensive. It's split down the side. You just kind of open it up, and it just kind of snaps around your outside pipe, and just wrap, just put that around those outside pipes everywhere that you can see them, and it doesn't take much to protect them from the cold. I mean,
and take the hose off, right?
Oh yeah, take your hoses off. Yeah, take your hoses off. Now that's another big thing that people don't know. There are outside faucets that are attached to the house. Okay, the valve mechanism is inside the house where it's going to be warm. But if you have a garden hose attached to that, and you've got this hand sprayer on the end of that hose, and you've got it on at the house, and you're spraying your garden, okay, you release it, you close that hand sprayer. Now that hose is full of water, that's all right. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the faucet at the house, but I've got water trapped in that hose, and I've got water trapped in that faucet that sticks out of that brick. Now I'm going to bust that faucet, and I'm going to have to take the brick off of my house to fix that faucet. So take all those hoses off of any outside lines that you have.